Hello and welcome. This is Shanna today with Pixie Dust Designs, and I'm here with another fun Christmas in July project. This time I will be featuring the Kisses box gift card holder and the snow globe dies. Two of my absolute favorite sets Pixie Dust carries. Super versatile for really any occasion. Today we are going to make a little chapstick holder box that has a winter scene on it. For today's project, I was actually inspired by Crepe Paper's Snow and Coker paper line. I've used this one for many projects. It is a well-loved pad, and we're going to pull some papers out of it for today's project. So one of my favorite things to do for cards on 12 by 12 papers is to take this sheet of like ephemera and cut it up and use it in different ways. So I'm going to make a couple different boxes today and use a couple different pieces from this that you'll see. I have this pattern paper, and then I have, apparently it flipped up, this adorable winter scene as well. What I really enjoy about this is whereas it's very wintry, it isn't completely Christmas. So you could go a bunch of different directions with this. It could be closer to Valentine's or Christmas. In this case, I'm definitely doing Christmas in July, so we're going to make it a little more Christmassy with our sentiment, and you will see that here in a little bit. Okay, on screen is most of what we will need to create our first Kisses box. This is a combination of products from both the Snow Globe die set. The Snow Globe die set, I'm getting the Holidays sentiment and the two snow drift borders or pieces. And then the rest of them all are from the Kisses gift card box. So let's go ahead and get started with our assembly. I'm gonna set the box pieces aside for right now because I wanna work on our scene, and then we will assemble our box. So for the scene, I plan on making just a little snowdrift scene here, which means I wanna bring these onto it, but as you can tell, they're not cut the same, right? So what we're gonna do is we will do a little more die cutting of the snowdrifts after I glue them slightly together. I just want to get them attached so they die cut a little easier. Because what I'm going for is a little bit like that, which means I'm going to take this and glue it directly on top of this piece. This piece is a decorative piece that sits on top of the gift card part, but I wanted to make it into a little scene. So I don't want the corners showing. Because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring back the die that die cut that background piece, and I'm just gonna line it up. You can actually kind of feel it snap into place with the stitching in the edges. But since it's a little bulky, I'm going to put a little piece of tape right across the bottom. To hold it in place while I die cut. Bringing it back over. This is where you can see those snowdrifts are now die cut to the shape of that gift card panel. I did die cut a couple of the trees that come with the Snow Globe die set as well. I thought it would be good to kind of have a little forest going on with the snowdrifts. You could choose to do these in white and then color them. I liked the monochromatic kind of look I was going for more like of a silhouette look, but that's the beauty of die cuts, is you can customize them as you want. You can cut them out of colored paper like I did, or you can color them out or die cut them out of white and then color them with your medium of choice, whether you use colored pencils or Copics. All of them are a possibility when it comes to die cuts. Okay. My sentiment is intended to say holiday kisses. As you can tell right now, it says holidays kisses because that sentiment is actually intended to say happy holidays. So what I want to do is I just want to bring in my scissors and I'm just going to trim off that S. So I get the sentiment I want. Just going to kind of round those corners off. And now I have holiday kisses. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down now. And for stability and a little bit of dimension, I forgot to mention, I did die cut out these sentiments more than once. The kisses is stacked with 3 whites. And then my holiday actually has 2 of my colored, that teal, and then 1 white just kind of offset as a little bit of a shadow. I do it both because I like a chunkier look to my sentiments, and with these really thin sentiments, they can be a little flimsy to work with, so I like to strengthen them up. Okay, now we're going to bring in our box and assemble. So what I like to do first is just bring in a bone folder, and I want to burnish all of my folds. Just like that. I love how deep the die etches my score lines because they fold beautifully without warping, even when I'm using a heavier cardstock. So you can kind of see how that goes together. We will go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to use some tear tape. You want to make sure you're not coming over the edges because you don't want it to glue your pocket shut. Go ahead and burnish these down. And then that actually completes the pocket. You can tell this is where our kisses, or our holiday kisses, is gonna go. So we'll go ahead and bring that onto it right now. Just like that. And then we're ready to work on the rest of the box. So same thing, I'm just going to burnish all of these down. I find it easier to do this before I glue anything down because it makes all of the parts pretty much bend right where they're supposed to when you go to attach them all together. Once you have everything creased, I'm going to flip it back over to the front, and here you're going to see it pretty much comes together like that. But I needed to see what was my front, what was my back. So my back is where that tab attaches, making this my front. In the Kisses gift card box, you actually have the options of die cutting a window, but first you need to adhere both of, or at least this decorative piece, because you want the window to be in the same spot on both pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And while I'm gluing, I might as well just add this one too. This is meant to sit as a top decorative piece because you're going to see a top. You won't necessarily see, you know, the bottom of the box the way this is designed, but you could, if you wanted to, add a piece to that as well. Just make sure they're centered. And you can kind of see this is our box, that's the front, that's the top. You could, in fact, die cut another piece if you wanted to for the bottom. So now I'm going to bring in the window die. There's two window dies. There's one that's just an oval and one that's a scallop. I liked the scallop for this project. And all I'm going to do is center it right there. And then tape it in place and run it through my die cut machine. Okay, so now that I have ran it through the die cut machine, I'm going to go ahead and pop it off, and you can see that window is perfectly cut right in the middle. This I actually plan on saving. It would make an adorable little sentiment strip, so I'm just going to put it in my scrap box. So that window allows you to put something inside and you can see it. So it adds to the kind of like the whimsy of the box. Now we're actually going to assemble the box. So I'm going to take my tear tape. And so if you fold this down just like that, it lines up perfect. I'm gonna rub it, actually even burnish it just a little bit. That way I know for sure that bond is there with the adhesive. And then these just close in on themselves like a regular gift box. At this point, we are ready to attach it. I'm actually going to use a combination of both wet and dry adhesive for this. Just helps it hold in place while the wet adhesive is drying as well. And this lines up and butts right against that gift card holder. And you have not only a pocket to slide a gift card, you have a treat pocket to put either like Hershey Kisses or a chapstick. I plan on putting chapstick in mine. And yeah, so that is our first project. We're gonna move on to our second one. Okay, like I did before, this is just a quick snapshot of the stuff we're gonna use in this card. I'm not going to show the complete assembly of the box with the second one because it's identical, but what we are doing with this one is turning it into an A2 size card. So kind of fun is like a gift card option again, or just a special way to wrap a gift and include a card. 2-in-1 project. So let's get started. Okay, so I went ahead and assembled my box and folded up the gift card holder on this. In this case, I'm not going to cut a window, but as you can see, I did die cut the decorations for the 3 different sides because you'll see all 3 sides since it's going to be on a card front. So I'm going to set those off to the side and we're going to work on our main panel, or I guess the decorative portion. Same thing that we did on the last card, we're going to do on this one, and that includes doing the snowdrifts across the bottom. In this case, I'm actually not going to line it up because I have an idea of where I want it to be. But I do want to have, since these are going to go like that, I actually want to add a little kind of just fun snowdrift over there. Which means I need the larger rectangle, which both of them actually fit. And that leaves 2 specialty cut snowdrifts. So I want this on this one, and this one's just going to line up right there. So out of that paper pad I showed you at the beginning, this is one of those 3x4 cards that comes with it. I really just want that bear. So we're going to fussy cut him out. So now that he's all die cut out, what I do want to do is I'm going to take just a black Copic, and I like doing all the edges just to kind of help make him look a little finished. And he's actually the exact same size, so I thought he'd fit in the middle, but he didn't. So I'm just going to peel this up a little bit. Actually, we're going to do something even a little more cute with him. Because he's a little long, I want this notch to still be in or able to be used. So I need to trim off some to get it to work, but I want his scarf to still peek over. So what we're going to do is take those scissors So we'll come across like that. Get rid of little pieces. And I'm just going to trim off some of the bottom of the bear, and I'm going to cut his fringe. It's just a fun way to use up some of the pieces that maybe come with a paper pad that you wouldn't normally use. So like that. Make sure his little head's below the notch and push him down in place. I also have some more of those little trees because I thought they'd be pretty cute. About like that, because I still have to add a sentiment onto this card. And you'll see I'm gonna run out of space kind of quickly with my design, but I have a plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this all together here, and then we'll start assembling the card base.
The assembly of the card is pretty basic, so I am just going to leave you here with a little bit of music and speed it up a bit to save on a little time.
And now to finish it off, I have my sentiments. This is the Merry Christmas dies from the Snow Globe die set. I die cut them 3 times just out of black cardstock. And we're gonna come right across the front of our bear and then right under it. And then I have these to kind of finish off the design to the side. And that finishes off our card. You still have the inside you could decorate. You have the gift card slot.
Thank you so
and
much
you have
for joining me today.
I hope you really enjoyed the project and thought of different ways you can stretch your dies and make new things. I loved turning something that was probably more intended to be like a Valentine treat box into a Christmas treat box, and the fact that I can use it for either chapstick or different candies. You could even slide rolled up money in here and customize it to the person you want to give it to. All right, thanks so much for joining. You guys have a crafty, happy day, and don't forget to swing by the VIP group and join in the Christmas and July fun. All right, thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.